So as you were looking up at the raven, you could suddenly determine that what it was chewing was some dream pastries from the village that I think some of you already have, some very tasty pastries. And that's where I think we stopped.
Wasn't there a small pile of children's teeth?
There was indeed a small pile of children's teeth right in the middle of the standing stones. And I think Ludicrous, you investigated them, didn't you? Or was it Lord Benton? Yeah.
I did, yes.
And Lady Rach tried to make friends.
with
the raven
because she wants a replacement for Boots.
I do.
That's
It
right.
didn't work.
It didn't
Respond to your
despite
charms.
your particularly high 22 that you rolled on your animal handling, the raven was significantly disinterested in befriending you, and seemed quite just intent on just eating as much of this pastry as it possibly could. So that's where we're up to. Ben's just mentioned that he's going to join ASAP. He's on his way. But over to you. I see Lord Benton has appeared in roll 20. He should appear soon on the screen.
So each of the stones had a carving of a city, and they represented a city for each season. I'm wondering, we don't have anyone to interrogate, so what is the meaning of that?
Indeed, what is the meaning of that?
What's that got to do with then? As a bard, I'm pretty rubbish at most things. I think I have... the only thing I might have is investigation.
So what you could do is maybe do a history check. Didn't we do this before?
Did someone check the history? Maybe that's where it came from. That might have been where we got the information that it had a city for each season.
Yeah, so essentially the city of winter is shown covered with snow. The city of spring arrayed in flowers. The city of summer has the sunburst overhead. And autumn is covered with leaves. Upon investigation, you determined that it was the city of autumn that the raven was eating on.
And can we recognise the city? Is it a specific city within the map we might recognise?
It's just a carving.
It's a carving.
Yeah, medieval-like city, so it's not like the London, skyrise. Oi, you! This voice comes from up near the windmill, and you see that the woman is approaching. You see her sort of waddling down towards you, and she stands on sort of some high ground. You can see just behind you. You see that she's standing on some high ground. Hey, there you go.
Fuck! What a fucker!
Right. Well, we've just done a quick recap, so you haven't missed too much. And the large woman who spoke to you all earlier, who shooed you away, is sort of waving something at you. Oi! Ladies! You going to Vallaki?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you say ladies or
I
laddies?
say ladies. You're going to Vallaki. You'll say yes. Come here. I have something. It's too much for me to scramble down. One of you come scramble. Take this. Will you take this to Vallaki? And give.
I'll take it.
So, Lady Rach, you're going to clamber up and
Classic lady.
speak with
With my
this lady.
Yep.
And then she goes invisible. And then she goes invisible.
Yeah.
No, she does not turn invisible. As you approach the woman, she's quite excited. She has an odd look in her eye, and she hands you this folded envelope, and she says, "This just returned to us. It's very important. If you get this to Vallaki, to Vasily, Lord Vasily, here's one of the lords of Vallaki. You'll take this letter to him, yes?" And it's all folded up,
Sure.
but not sealed.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Which is
Uh-oh.
To Lady Rach.
Sure.
Dangerous
So
to
you
give to
take
Lady
it.
Rach.
You take
Isn't
it.
it?
You take it, Lady Rach.
Yeah, I take it. Yeah, I take it.
Hey. Mama. Right.
What did she look like again? What did she look like again? I accidentally clicked and it's gone.
What's that?
What did she look like again? What did she look like again? The pictures, I accidentally clicked away and it's gone. Hocus Pocus. Yeah, I was gonna say, because it popped up, but then I was like, I went to click on it and it disappeared, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's that lady from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, I'm gonna make Lucas watch it on Halloween.
See, she's come to haunt your
What a terrible
dreams
movie.
in Barovia. So, with that, she says, "This is it. You will find him in Vallaki. Ask around. Thank you, thank you. Now, be gone. You must go. You must go. Mother will be home soon. She will not want to see you, and you cannot stay here. Off to Vallaki you go." And she wafts you away as she then turns and makes her way back towards the entry to the windmill and disappears inside. Lady Rach, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go back down the little hill and then open it and read it.
With your companions? You're going to read it out loud?
Yeah, sure. Thank you
Okay.
too. I feel like I should share the love.
Read the shit out of that. That's right. Read the shit out of that letter.
Wasn't the windmill really creepy? Weren't we a bit worried about that?
Yeah.
It was like, don't go there.
Yeah.
So, you can all read it?
Nope.
Oh, sorry, I just stuffed that for you, didn't I?
Cool.
Is that-
It's cool, windmill.
Sorry. You should just be able to... Yep, there you go. So you should be able to see that. Yep, that should be in your journals.
So there's a witch. There's a witch problem in Vallaki. Just putting it out there. This lady seems sus as hell. And she's like,
This lady should not be permitted anywhere near children.
oh my god, this bitch a witch. She's gonna put him in her windmill, grind them into bread. She's gonna have some orphan dough. It's gonna be awful.
Well, there's kids' teeth, so I'm going to keep the letter, but I haven't decided if I'm going to give it to Lord Vasily yet. Should we investigate this windmill? If there's going to be kids going in
You
there?
could do it sneakily because you can turn invisible.
Well, she's wanting to look. Did you not read that there's beds and pies, and we've just seen a crow eating those pies, drugged pies?
Yeah, but I don't want to send kids to the windmill if it's...
I don't think we're sending them to the windmill. That's a prison with pies.
That's what the letter says, yeah.
The letter's like, oh, there's a witch problem.
Yeah, she's the witch.
Orphans out. And she's like, I'll take them.
Yeah, I'll take them. It'll
Look
be
at this
fine.
place. It's a children's paradise. And I'm like, they're gonna get
I'm going to head back up to the windmill and knock on the door.
Oh no.
I reckon Lady Rach should investigate it.
Yeah, late Rach.
Yeah,
Are
on the door.
you going to put invisibly?
Knocking on the door.
Yeah, I'm knocking on the door. Should I not knock on the door?
Would you not do it by stealth?
Okay, I'm going to turn
With
invisible.
invisible.
Okay, I'm going to turn invisible instead.
And can we do some checks?
And can we do some checks? Like, are you in a reckless mood, Lady Rach? What's going on today?
Yeah, I feel like I am. I regretted not going into this windmill last time.
Mm.
So,
Oh,
no
no regrets.
No regrets.
YOLO.
Exactly. You only live once, and you're invisible, so it's.
I know. I've got my invisible. I
Bound
just don't know if I should knock on it and confront her about the children's teeth or like sneak inside. What do you guys
Well,
think?
right now you're
I-
either at the door or you're not. So, are you over there by yourself, talking to yourself, or are you Right. You say you haven't left yet. What do you? You're just running backwards and forwards.
I'm discussing my plan with everyone.
Are you invisible though?
We're voting.
Are you
voting.
invisible
I
first
am
before you
voting that
vote? I need to understand. Have you become invisible, or have you gone up invisible, then decide you need to talk to everyone, run back, uninvisible?
Yeah, I've gone up. I thought about knocking, and now I'm like, I feel like that was not a great decision. So I've gone back to get everybody.
Right.
If I'm invisible, no one can come and save me.
The just to let you know that the sun is now starting to fall.
Oh shit.
Into
Oh,
the
shit.
early evening twilight is beginning.
Could we not come back with the children when we bring them back to their new happy home, the dilapidated windmill with veins stripped bare and evil pies? Could we not bring the children with us and just say, could we not do it next time?
Okay, I'll reserve the right to. I'm gonna consider this letter before I hand it over.
Okay, yep.
I still regret not going inside the windmill.
So
when we get back here, I'm going inside.
We'll have an opportunity. Yeah.
Opportunities not taken. Opportunities not taken.
Enough. We must seek shelter, or we should forge on. Ludicrous says Bob, strangely sipping.
And as he does, the
Can we
sun
forge
begins
on?
to filter below the horizon, and darkness begins to creep towards you.
This is good. This is good.
No regrets.
Good.
No regrets.
Once you're an adventurer, you never know what you've missed out on if you don't do
So,
it.
do you head towards the road that you can see in the dim light of dusk? The moon, the moon is
Fortunately, I have
beginning to
dark
crest
vision.
itself above the mountains
Dear oh,
to the east.
dear, oh dear.
Fortunately, I have dark vision, and in this environment, I cannot get lost.
We're staying on the road,
We're staying on the road, everyone. Remember, we're all staying on the road.
Run up and grab the end of Lucas's cloak so that I don't get lost.
Safe word pineapple, I think. Safe word's pineapple.
So, Lucas is heading the wrong direction if he's going that way. But that's okay, because he doesn't get lost. And the wrong direction if he goes that way. The right direction is off this map. And let me help you with that, he says.
That was a trap. That was a trap.
Oh my god, we just narrowly avoided getting attacked by witches or wolves or.
Did we? But don't you think that would have been very interesting?
You know, I think that there was a don't get ambushed on the road charm in the windmill. But I guess we'll never know, will we? Because we were too afraid. Some bloody crows.
And the teeth.
Pie on pie.
And the teeth, the children's teeth.
Yeah, children's teeth did do it.
I'm pretty sure every bougie mother has a drawer full of children's teeth. So
You just couldn't let them
Now-
go.
You're
Ben,
right,
that
it's
is
probably
an
just someone's
insight of
stash.
wisdom right there. They're just caring mothers who've looked after the orphan children.
exactly. All the orphans
That's
that
right.
she's raised and sent on to brilliant lives, she kept their children because they're all her children. But
Yeah.
you think it's creepy just because there's some crows.
So, heading away now, I assume you are all orientated on your maps to greater
Huzzah to Vallaki. Huzzah to
Huzzah
Vallaki.
to Vallaki. It has nightfall now, and you commence your journey along the roads. How long do you intend to travel, and how do you intend to proceed?
Are we going to camp on the road?
Unless there's an inn. How many little hexes can we travel in a day?
Right. So, you have essentially travelled all of today from the Serre Pool, right? So, that and plus the big clambering up the side of the cliffs, the microwaving of the wolves in the forest just back here has taken most of the day. You anticipate that Vallaki is probably another 8 hours away, and therefore
I was going to say because this is the lake. I was going to say because this is the lake up here, I'd imagine, and Vallaki will be over here. And Vallaki will be over here somewhere, based on our map, Lord Christopher's map, if we all recall. Lord Christopher's map, if we all recall. Because we just came from the creepy scarecrow place. So looking at the map, it can't be too far. We were pretty close.
If you're on the road, I'm going to allow you 3 hexes an hour. Okay, and so you are just here now. I'm just going to put you back away from the windmill, at the edge of the windmill. So 3 hours of normal travel on the road is, 1 hour is 3 hexes.
Is that the windmill? That thing there? Is that the windmill?
That's
that thing there? Is that the windmill?
Yeah.
And are the dashes the road, or is this the road?
Steep, not cliffs necessarily. They certainly were cliffs further on where you had to scramble up with the bridge, but quite steep hillsides. Still lightly forested, as opposed to the darker, deeper green forest that looms to the back of the windmill as it slowly.
And I'm assuming, can we shortcut it through there? What would happen if we did that?
Not off the road.
I have no idea. Let me consult my tables for random encounters of death and destruction.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's there's the long way, and then there's the quick way.
So, long story short, we stay to the road. I will lead if you want to follow, Lord Benton.
I would have thought you'd be good at traversing.
So basically, 1 hour will see you here.
Alright, I'm happy with that.
Is that where we're sleeping tonight? Is that where we're sleeping tonight?
Can we just keep walking? Can we be night walkers?
If we go throughout the night, we won't get any rest, which may mean we're fatigued.
Which would be so it's 8 hours, and we get there, and then we're trying to get Irina to the Church of St. Angels, where Stroud can't visit as it's holy ground. So then we could just have a rest there.
We could.
If we're okay with that, but then we obviously Lord Benton's dealt with all the wolves, so we've one lot down.
Where's the church again?
In Vallaki. In Vallaki.
Vallaki.
So we're trying to get to Vallaki.
Vallaki, with Father Lucian.
Vallaki. Yeah, Vallaki. I called it
Vallaki.
Vallaki. Oh my god, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet now.
I did phonetics.
There's a rumbling in the sky.
From when we did it last time, I just wasn't reading it.
Himself.
And Father Lucian's there.
So we proceed on along the road. We continue travelling.
Okay, so
Hello.
going to allow you guys just to move along here, and as you begin to move along in the darkness, you can see the embers of something that looks like a fire just up ahead there. Or you can see some red embers, and you can smell sort of smoke. There's no particular fire like raging, but it certainly appears as if at some point in the last few hours a fire was made here.
Can I
investigate?
Yeah, so do you want all of you down on the map?
Well, I can go invisible and go have a look.
So OP. Why'd you give her that ring? What have I done? Even let me keep my
Best
wizard
ring
hat.
ever.
She's just
very handy.
just
She's very adventurous.
Kels, you're running Will, just to let you know. And Ben, you're just controlling Irina.
Okay.
You can hang out with her.
Was Irina being controlled by anyone before? Were we supposed to be moving her?
I move her. Yeah, we move her around.
Comes along for the ride.
She's very keen for your protection, but she does wield a sword. She has a sword, and was certainly readying herself for combat before the microwave action occurred with the wolves earlier on in the day. So there you are. The forest sounds around you. That's actually Lord Benton making horse sounds, but that's okay.
I thought I could hear a horse. Yeah. What?
I have control of Irina's
Okay,
token.
alright.
On observing the previous tent, Ludicrous approaches it cautiously and slowly.
Well, I'm going invisible just because I can. And
Why not? Why not? Oh, no. Child. That's exciting. Okay. Alright.
Nope.
I feel like I need a different photo for when I go invisible that's kind of like really grayed out.
So I've just added Rachel's an aura to Rach.
Oh, nice.
Just to indicate that she's invisible.
Yep.
Is that helpful?
Fantastic. Wonderful. Ben, you just tell me where to move her.
Alright.
Somehow she's now got your name. I'm not quite sure.
Hello.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
So,
That did work then.
I don't know what you did,
She's
but
now
it
called
worked.
you as well.
Where's
But that's okay.
Where's Nix?
I seem to have access of everyone now, though. So I don't know if that was intentional. Ludicrous. Look at him. Ludicrous. Look at him doing the dubstep.
Oh, thanks, Doug. And can you give me control of Ringo? Because he doesn't come up in my list.
Thanks. There we go.
Thanks.
Right. Let me
Thanks.
just see. I can do that there too.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And who are you controlling? Ludicrous. How are you controlling? Oh, that's because I've got it for all players. Yeah, that's okay. So just let me do this. You should now still be able to control Irina, Ben.
Alright, sweet. I can't. But alright, I can't.
What?
But alright. I can control everyone, but...
You can't control her.
No, but I can control every other character.
Edit it. Oh, wait. There you go. I think you should be able to now.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Can anyone else
Nope.
move Irina?
Nope.
This is wonderful. Okay. I'll fix that. Lady Rach, tell me what you're doing.
Well, I'm following Ludicrous while invisible because I feel like it's safer.
Okay.
Actually, can I skirt the other side of the fire?
Yeah, so when I say it's a
Ludicrous?
fire, it's just embers. It's just
Embers.
like, yeah, so there's some
Embers.
red embers amongst some wood.
Yeah.
As you approach...
So I'm going to go to the left of the
Beg your
embers.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you're just scouting around to the side. Yeah.
Yep.
As you approach, you can see, Ludicrous, that there's a log that's been pulled up next to it that perhaps would be a seat, and that there is already, in fact, some wood chopped just by the side of the road.
Can I investigate to see if there are any tracks?
Absolutely, give me an investigation roll.
See?
Oh,
Yeah,
Matt?
that's pretty good. So, yeah, even amongst the gloomy dark of the roads, you can see that this is a well-travelled part of the old Savage Road. You can see that this campsite has been frequented, and you can also determine that it was only some hours ago that someone had lit a fire. And for whatever reason, they had continued on. Perhaps they took a meal before dusk fell, and that they've continued on and then are camping away from the fire off the road so as to not attract attention. Or perhaps something else has occurred. but certainly you see some evidence of some food scraps that someone has indeed eaten a meal here. You notice that some of the forest to your left is moving unnaturally, and you must assume that could only be Lady Rach invisibly moving parallel to your flank.
I was getting scared for a second.
Do I note the tracks from the most recent occupants of the campsite?
Do you what the tracks?
Do I note the tracks? Do I note the tracks of the people who were just at the campsite? In which direction are they headed? In which direction are they headed?
Along the road. Back past you.
So the north, east, or west. So the north, east, or west. Right. South. Right behind.
Yeah.
South.
Yeah.
Behind
So in this little part of the road, remember it's now sort of running north-south, I think, from memory.
Yep.
Can we see if the fire has had something thrown on it as if to show that it's been properly put out, or whether it's just been left to burn and possibly risk a fire?
If you like. Ludicrous is up there, seemingly investigating around. You can detect it with your.
So is it investigation?
And are you using any light source at all?
Me. I'm not. I don't think so. I was just lit by the light of, Ludicrous's leadership.
Yeah. So so pretty much.
Just in his wake.
Pretty much you.
He just strode off.
He just
strode off. I went, okay, I'm a bard. I just,
Yeah, that's about it.
Who else has dark vision? Who else has dark vision?
Not I.
Anyone?
No, I'm human.
Anyone?
No, I'm human.
Do I?
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Me go. So I'm using my dark vision and my invisibility.
Okay. Okay.
Does anyone want to light a torch or anything?
Yeah, I'll light a torch. Why not? Yeah, I'll light a torch. Why not? Why? Sorry? Why? Because I can.
Okay.
It'll be a floating torch because I'm invisible.
You don't have any torches.
I don't have any torches, so I can't. Sorry, team.
I think I can cast
I
light.
think you can too.
So that might be an easier way now. That that's done. Dancing lights. I can give you 4 torch-size lights. So everyone gets a light. It's like Oprah Winfrey.
You get light.
Reach onto your chair.
So at the moment, can I just check, Nicole and Kelly, your tokens, you should be only seeing a small amount of the screen?
Yes. It's then the black. There's black covering
but like
the rest.
a very small amount.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a photo?
Yeah.
Do you want to take a photo?
I'm just trying to get the lighting effects right for you guys.
I can see everyone's lights.
Very nice, Dunk. It looks very nice, Dunk.
I have night vision, so I can see everything.
We'll work on that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do? Did you want to continue? It's now probably, well, it's certainly an hour past sunfall. So.
Did you guys want to stay here?
We have always been warned to not stray off the road.
Yeah, but it's right next to the road.
Yeah, so as in this will be us not straying off the road. But we're also kind of in the forest at night. So do we keep traveling or do we stay here?
Well, we don't have any tents or anything. Do we? So at some point,
I thought we should just power on like it's a midnight charity walk. Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's keep going.
I mean, is there any downside? Like, what would be the benefit of sitting around waiting for wolves?
Absolutely none.
Well, I'm saying
Good exercise, We've been eating a lot of those pies, haven't we? Was that you, Lord Benton?
Let's work off the pies.
I would suggest. We have a marching order where our charge is in the centre. I am happy to take points,
Nice.
I'll back you up.
And you should be in the rear, actually.
Why?
Because.
I don't like being.
We're powerful force.
And then in amongst the rest of it, Benti, Kels.
Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo.
Fine, I'm in the rear.
So,
Is
Ben,
it-
I'll
meant
just
to have
confirm that
animal
you've cast
handling.
light, yes?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So
Did we
whoever-
all have a torch?
So
Did we
whoever-
all have a torch?
Should we have someone flanking us? I'm actually thinking maybe someone should be at the back and someone should be, like, Lady Rach should be there, because we're going to have our eyes dulled by the light.
So
I have night vision, so I'm at the back.
So Lady Rach should be at the back.
Yeah, okay. Invisible? Lady Rach, you wearing your ring?
Yep. I'm invisible.
Yeah. So that's our rough marching order.
Yeah.
If you're happy, Doug.
I'm happy with
Doug?
that. Sounds good. Okay. Let me just copy that.
Onwards. Onwards.
Did Don-
So your intent is to
Did Benti
walk
give us all
to
lights?
Vallaki
Yeah.
for 8
Yeah.
hours, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Or unless we see a suitable somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Story.
Okay. Let me just. So you commenced your walk to Vallaki. Interesting. Just give me.
To the church.
Things DM say while they're looking at the notes. Interesting.
Are you sure? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
that's right. Are you guys really sure that's what you want to
You
do?
sure that's what you do?
Not what I would have expected.
So just to reiterate, you're walking. Okay.
Okay, through
which
the
box is through?
night. That's great. Okay. Let's get you back to the map. So we shall call this 7 p.m.
Okay.
And you begin your long march into the night at 7.
8 hours.
Yes.
With the lights.
Making your way. It is now 8 p.m. You're all beginning to feel a little hungry and a little thirsty. For when's the last time you've all eaten or drunk?
Can I do some foraging for some dinner? Some
I
dinner?
don't think I need to camp
Look
out
for
here.
some berries.
I can do that. I can do that.
Can I do a
And
survival? I'm +3.
Sounds like there's some dangerous
So-
music.
Let's just get this right. So are you walking to
I can-
Vallaki or are you now stopping on the road and foraging?
No, we're walking.
walking.
We're
So
walking.
you're going to push past that initial feeling of hunger.
As we're walking, can we be looking for like berries?
Yes.
Everybody's doing their own
Multitasking.
fasting thing at the moment.
16, 8, no on the 2.
So give me survival. Give me survival
5-2.
checks.
5-2.
Rather than that, can I ask Irina?
Mhm.
Is that her name? Irina, if she has any rations. Irina, if she has any rations.
She says no, she doesn't.
Yes.
That's my foraging.
As you forage, you can either now slow down to
Well, I'm not
2
foraging.
per hour,
I'm going to forage.
2 hexes per hour. So it's now coming to 9 p.m.
Oh my god.
And so far, you haven't found anything, Nix. If you kind of feel that if you're going to make a proper show of it, you need to probably get off the track into the forest to look for roots or berries or stuff like that.
Nope.
No.
I ask again, does
She
Irina
does
have
not.
rations?
She's starting to
Just
grumble
reminded us
and
to stick
perhaps
to the track.
she goes, I thought you were well-prepared adventurers. I see that my brother has perhaps mistaken his faith in you all to get me to Vallaki safely.
We said we would take you to Vallaki. We said we would take you to Vallaki
I am not
safely.
sure walking through the night is going to be safe. Should we not take some
She'll
shelter?
be right.
Where is the shelter, Arena?
Surely we can pull ourselves off the track into the forest and make camp for the night.
No.
Vistani reminded us to stick to the track. They were very clear on that, and they were very friendly.
Yeah, I think we just keep walking. Let's just get there. No more foraging for food. Suck it up,
We're
fools.
just like, what's that, Irene? We're just like, what's that, Irene? They're just like,
Okay, so you guys are going to move now to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
As you begin to come through the forest, it darkens now. The moonlight is almost gone. The trees are intertwining over the forest itself, and it becomes quite clear to you that the darkness seems to sort of have this movement of itself. What shadow there is from the flickering moonlight that breaks between the stormy clouds above you.
Can I do a perception?
You sure can.
Of where we are.
Absolutely.
Here I go. With my +6.
You are on the
11.
road. Moving.
Anything creepy?
Not yet. You continue on, and it is now 11 o'clock, and you find yourselves seeing the glimmer of a lake, a massively large lake, to your north.
Who's thirsty? Who's thirsty? Can we clean the water?
Is it on the track? Is it on the same road? Or is it off it right by us, or is it off the track?
There appears to be a track between the road and the edge of the lake.
It does.
Ludicrous turns to the group and says, "Shall we spell for an hour?"
So it's 11.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
let's
11
get a
o'clock.
drink.
So it's going to take you. So from the road, it's about 20 minutes down to that shoreline. So you're standing on the road on high ground, and you can see that there is some pathways off the road down to the shore of the lake, which you would assume, looking at your map, is Lake Saravich.
And how long have we got to go?
It is now.
How many hours?
It's now, isn't it 11 p.m. now, isn't it?
So we've been halfway. We've only got 4 hours to go.
I bet we just keep walking.
I think so too. I think that's a bit. I didn't realize that was off
Oh
the
yeah,
road.
it's about.
Yeah.
So each hex is about 20 minutes, yeah. So 20 minutes
Okay.
walking.
Okay.
I might keep walking.
We forge on. Huzzah!
As well, we've come this far.
Yeah.
Okay.
As midnight crests, the forest continues to loom in close to you.
We're gonna get attacked.
You hear a
We're gonna get
horse,
attacked.
as you can hear. Something is coming down the road in front of you in a slow
Does Ringo see anything?
trot. Give me a perception check.
Just switch to Ringo. Okay, Ringo's looking around. Does he see a horse? Damn!
Ringo is looking up into the clouds, and he's talking to Irina about his airships, and she's quite fascinated by the concept of an airship, and so he's talking quite loudly and excitedly, pointing up to the clouds and describing what a feeling it is to float amongst them from where he is upon.
So we trying to keep Irina safe. Like, is that our whole MO?
We've just got to get her there. So she's in the middle, isn't she? She was put there and they're marching on her.
And as you are walking down the road, having just gone past, you feel that you are now coming One sec.
So who else can have perception check or investigation?
Can I do a perception check or investigation? Because I'm in the back, so I'm probably closer than anybody to the horse. Oh no, the horse is that way.
So it's actually ludicrous. Oh, seems to no. Is there no one on it?
Wacky.
The riderless horse.
So this horse, you start seeing moving out of the gloom. At first, you can just see the horse. Then suddenly, something looms up from within it, and you can see that's abreast the horse is this skeletal form.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good.
The horse is some distance from you at this particular point.
Have they seen us? Have they seen us?
I think we need to talk to them. And you're at the front, Ludicrous. Do you want to... What ho?
I don't think we need to talk to them. I think we need
So
to
the horse is here, and it's moving along the road. It has a skeletal rider upon it.
Skeleton rider is never good. Skeleton rider is never good.
Skeleton or skeletal? Somebody's hungry or skeleton?
Can we ask Marina what a skeleton rider means? Does she know anything about it?
We just hide in the bushes
Irina
until it
is
goes
now
past.
beginning to move into the forest. So she's beginning to.
Okay, I'm gonna follow.
She's moving down here, and she's sort of now crouching into the forest. Ringo, who was chatting with her, is moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I go with Arena.
Yeah, you're just like.
See if it'll walk past us. Let's just crouch
And ready our arms. Ready our weapons.
My action is hide.
Move,
And
I'm
ready weapons.
gonna do that.
Fury, you're still out in the middle of the road. Is there anything I should know?
Oh no, I said I was going into.
Right.
Yep, I'm going in. Thanks.
And Lady Rach is invisible. So
Yeah, I'm super stealthy.
The horse continues on its
Stealth.
on its way. Finally, out of the mist, this skeletal warhorse and rider. Now the armor glints off what moonlight is filtering through the trees. You can see it's both of them are clad in what appears to be ruined chainmail, tattered leather, tattered metal chain, and holding up a rusted lantern that sheds no light.
They're creepy. Oh, they're creepy.
It is now parallel to you, Ludicrous. The rider is there holding an unlit lantern. It's going past.
it takes the elevator.
It's now moving past you, Lord Benton.
Can Nick's shoot
And
him?
Irina shivers because she's
Hey,
crouched next to you. You see her shiver.
I'd like to
The-
fire my crossbow. I'd like to
the horse
fire my
stops.
crossbow at it.
The horse stops. Almost. Lord Benton, you passively perceive. At the same moment, a shiver ran through your colleague, Irina. It stops.
Can I use?
The horse.
Okay.
You start to hear a creak of armor, metal upon rusted metal, very distinct, as the body begins to move itself on the horse, rotating to look towards Irina's location.
Can I quickly cast minor illusion to have a sound of bolting horses from over here?
Oh, nice.
From over where?
Like away from us, like down the road, down the road, like just the sound of horses.
Yeah, sure.
going.
Cast away.
Cast.
Cast me. Show me that now. Nyx,
Yes?
ever ready with a bow. What are you doing?
I'm ready to shoot it.
Are you ready to shoot it, or did you say you were shooting it?
I'm ready to shoot it. So Benty, are you casting minor illusion?
Did you say you were shooting it with a bow? Is that what I heard?
I asked before if I could shoot an arrow, and nobody.
Well, I'm here to like the darkness around you. I manifest myself.
Then I'm not doing
You,
anything.
whisper into your ear. Do you want to shoot?
If Benty wants to do his minor illusion,
Shoot it, though.
I'm happy to wait for that.
Well, I think it could be safer.
I like it.
I'm going to launch
You can
sneak
take
attack.
the shot. Take the shot.
Oh my god.
Do it, Nick. Do it,
I don't
Nick.
see illusion up. Come on, Ben. Where's the spell? Yeah, you got to put it up so I can read the thing. Yeah.
Oh, you want to read it?
Plus, that
I thought you
also
were,
makes me
telling the
confirm that you're
cast-
actually casting it. You know, so it's not like, you know.
Gotcha. Alright. Whoop! There you go.
So now, 30 feet.
Can you also have it sound like the shiver of Irene? Irene. So he thinks it came from there.
How loudly are you saying that? Because you guys are almost 10 feet apart. Or is that something you just thought internally? Is that an internal dialogue? Fury? Was it?
Internal dialogue.
Are you sure?
I was just thinking that Bent is very smart, and he's very
Are you
smart,
sure?
so he might just like.
I think you should. I think you should call out to Lord Ben.
So are we attacking the rider
I
or
think
not
you should
attacking
call
the
it.
rider?
I don't think we should
I
attack
think-
the rider because I think
the rider now turns towards this conversation occurring between the invisible.
Oh no, I'm not talking.
Oh my god. We had an out. The horsey noise would have fucked him up.
I wasn't talking.
Sounded like you were talking to each other there. Dunno, could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Do you want me to just cast Fireball?
Okay, well, I sneak attack them.
Alright, I'm gonna Fireball him.
So Rach is gonna
Well,
shoot
just
a crossbow
wait,
bolt,
okay.
apparently.
At this stage, Nix, I'm coming back to you before we got sidetracked. The illusion has been cast. The sound of the horses are rabbiting away here.
And what's the reaction with the horse and the
Well, I'm going to allow
skeleton?
you to observe that. The horse
I'm watching.
makes up. Despite its skeletal frame, you can still almost imagine it breathing harder, and you could almost see the heated breath coming from its nostrils. The head of the horse starts to now move as if it hears the sound of another horse behind it. Its ears, if it had any, you would imagine would be twitching and moving around to try and detect the sound that's been cast. At this particular point, Nix, the voice is back. Take the shot. You should take the shot.
Does it look like the horse is going towards the illusion?
It hasn't moved.
Like it's
I'll
rustling
describe
around.
what's happened to it. The horse's head has moved. The rider has remained fixated towards
And that was it.
Lord Benton, Irina, and Deluche, whatever is Ringo. Its head is fixed in that way. The lantern, unlit, is looking that way, but it's not doing anything else other than looking. The horse now is moving its head, but has remained steady in its position. Again, I ask you, take the shot. Are you going to take the shot? Shoot it. Loose your bow.
Just shoot the fuck.
You should do that, Nix. That's what you want to
Do
do.
it.
It's what you said you wanted to do. It's what you said to me you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Are you going to shoot
Yeah.
it?
Kill it.
Is everyone okay with me shooting it
Loose the
now?
bow. Loose it.
Yeah, because you really want me to, I don't.
You want to. It's you who wants to. You're the one who said.
I'm gonna shoot the skeleton.
Oh!
He's done the mind control.
I'm
as a
giving you
skeleton.
advantage on your shot.
Go again then. Go again then. Okay.
Much better. Much better.
Nice.
X.
Okay.
I kill it. I kill it.
Can I use
He's taking this long.
Basically, you're invisible. So, yeah.
The bow shoots, it fires across, zipping through the air, almost guided, as if something's guiding your hand. You feel exhilarating in taking the shot.
And the arrow. And the arrow.
It strikes true.
Oh, well done.
Oh, well done.
The skeleton
Nice.
reacts suddenly, dropping the lantern, as you all now roll for initiative.
Did we get a surprise? Oh dear. Did we get a surprise round?
Lucas, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Was that not your surprise round?
One person is not a surprise. One person is not a surprise round.
He laughs and laughs and laughs. So, my good skeleton man, let's get you on.
Oh, nice.
Is everyone? It looks like everyone's done. Even Ringo, is that right, or is that?
Not Lady Ray.
I've got a 21 for Lady
Lady
Ray.
Ray.
This must be previous. So, okay.
Have you got me on? Have you got me on advantage?
Yep.
Advantage rolls.
Yeah, next. Initiative 20.
17.
What's going on with my? So, okay. Tell me what your rolls were. Lady Rach?
17.
17.
17.
Ludicrous.
20. 20.
Oh, no, plus 3.
Lord Benton.
Oh, no, just 20.
I did a 7 for Lord. I did a 7 for Lord Benton and a 5 for Irina.
Right. Ludicrous I've done. Lord Benton, we've got a 7. A 7 was what you said, yeah?
For Lord Benton, yeah.
Yeah.
For
Fury.
Lord Benton,
What was
yeah.
Fury?
And 5 for Irina.
16.
And Ringo Deluche?
I have to.
Ringo rolled a 20. Ringo rolled a 20 and a 14.
Have a 20.
Take the best one.
Nix, you got a 10. Is
20?
Saying, Nix.
Well, and Nix came up in the turn order as 14, so I'm happy for that. Random.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll for Ringo again?
No, good.
Okay.
The skeleton
Okay.
and the warhorse now leap into action. It basically like lures itself up. The hooves like going like that. The skeleton now basically reaches around and grabs a short bow, and it aims in towards Lord Benton and Irina, striking 17 into you, Lord Benton, for a hit for 7 piercing damage. What's your armor class, though, Ben? I better check that first.
It is 13.
Yep, so 17.
13.
Yep.
But can I cast shield?
You sure
But can I cast shield? I cast shield. I cast shield. Swing! You have no power here, horse. You have no power here, horse.
Suddenly the arrow is deflected,
Swing. Swing.
flying off into the distance. Lady Rach, invisible now. You have the
Yes.
initiative.
Oh, I have to be visible when I'm attacking. Hey, I fire a crossbow.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire it at the skeleton,
Okay.
not the horse.
So that's a 22. That is a hit.
So one D8 plus 1. Good rolls, baby. Good rolls, baby.
Hey, finally.
The crossbow knocks the skeleton to the ground. It falls down. The horse is still there. The skeleton falls down and clanks and splatters, and parts of it seem to roll. It appears to be defunct of life now.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Ludicrous. What are you going to
well
do?
done, you guys.
It's a dead horse, yes? It's a skeletal horse, yes? It's a skeletal horse, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Pony's about to lose its head.
I should ride it.
So no, it's a cursed horse.
So no, it's a cursed horse. It's the undead.
So what are you doing?
Oh, Castellan.
Killing it.
Otherwise, it will go tell people. It needs to go to the happy place anyway.
Oh,
So
using two-handed, 11. Wow.
Yes. The warhorse now, remembering its previous life where it was alive, now that it's been heeding some sort of summons and control, that creature now off its back, it launches up and just ducks out of the way of your sword as it swings past, nicks back to you. The voice in your head says, shoot it again. Kill it.
I'm gonna get a bit closer. I'm gonna get a bit closer over here and cast Sacred Flame.
I'm a bit worried about you having voices in your head.
We're all attacking the horse, right? We're all attacking the horse, right?
You're the one who's having voices in your head.
Yeah.
So Sacred Flame, that's a dex
Something going
saving
on.
throw for the horse. Let's do that. 17. I think that's a save. So
Ooh.
that doesn't get any damage, does it? Or is it half damage?
It needs. Do you want me to
Just let
copy
me know
and
if it's
paste?
half damage. With that, if Fury, over to you. What are you going to do?
No, I thought I had the ability to speak with animals.
Sure.
You succeeded on a dex saving throw.
So I'd like to
Yeah,
know,
so it doesn't say anything about
I'd like
half
to
damage,
know.
so therefore it doesn't get zapped.
Nope.
So that's cool. That's what I thought. Yeah, just wanted to check. So Fury.
Don't quite know how to cast it, but I have the ability to speak with animals, and so I'd like to ask it if it's alive and if it's what its intentions are. Horse. Are you undead? Are you alive? Have you been enchanted? What are your intentions?
It gives you no answer. Lord Benton, what are you going to do? As it now...
He's BRB.
Have we got Ben? Is Ben gone?
No, he just said the artifact.
Okay, so
Just
we'll
a
move
minute
on
ago.
from Lord Benton, and the warhorse now turns...
Ludicrous, can you do Venti?
No, the warhorse is having its go now, and it is hooving Ludicrous for a 14 to hit.
My AC is 14. So my AC is 14.
And it does
24. Damn.
10 hit points damage.
Do you have a shield? Can you throw up a shield, Ludicrous? Do you have that Lord Benton had?
It's a spell.
Oh, you don't have a spell. Okay.
So the horse looms up and and pummels you on the head.
Bad pain.
Ringo's go.
Bad pony.
Lord Benton will have his go shortly after Irina. If he is, as soon as he comes back, he can have his go. Otherwise, you guys can drive it at the end. Ringo, what's Ringo doing?
Okay, chucking darts.
Chucking darts. No, Ringo.
Chucking them.
Ringo chucks dart
Oh.
misses. Ringo swears at dart missing. And Lord Benton, Irina now, steps towards the horse. Strikes at it.
Has she got any
Oh, nice.
Hits it.
Oh, nice.
Wow, the fifth Scorer Irina.
You go, girl. You go, girl.
Mm.
Slap it down.
Alright, nice. Alright, just check. Right. Okay. Now, Lord Benton.
Hey.
It's your turn. What are you going to do? It has just struck. It's just pummeled Ludicrous, and Irina's just stepped forward and stabbed it with her sword.
Okay, I had to quickly swap computers. I have no idea what just happened. Did the horse
Did I just not
fight
tell you
back?
that?
I literally just logged back on.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
cool.
swapped
Yeah, so
computers.
the horse has pummeled the crap out of Ludicrous.
Oh no.
Yeah, like.
Oh no.
Then Irina stepped forward and stabbed it with her long sword. And so Ludicrous is sort of on, cowering, being beaten. Irina's reaching into the horse's inner skeleton bits and chopping it away at it with her sword, which has been relatively successful. Bits of it are falling away. Bone dust is filling the air, mixing with the fog that's creeped up from the lake, obviously, at this particular point at midnight, which is when it is right now. Isn't that amazing?
Alright, well I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on it. Because I've had enough of these shenanigans.
Yeah.
Alright, so I fire, you fire. Make a range attack spell for each. Oh, each. Alright, so I go Q, and so I roll 13, 14, 21 for 3, 3, and
The
8.
horse literally explodes into shards of bone. Like literally, like that, just like boom.
Ban the animal slayer, really. Let's.
Now, all of you now, please apply on your D&D Beyond character sheet 1 level of exhaustion.
They can say one level, and then leave it at that. And I was like, yes, I'm down for this.
Going up.
No, level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah.
I was just saying that's what it sounded like. We were going to go up a level.
No,
but no.
A nice person would do.
So, where in D&D Beyond is it?
Trying to find. Does anyone know? It's in the app.
Edit character? Okay. Collections. My characters.
It might be. I know where it is.
That little settings.
Yeah, is it there?
Wheel?
Yeah, it should be. It should be. It's under the. I'm pretty sure if you. I've seen it before.
Oh, right. I get what you're saying.
If you click on conditions,
And then you go.
Yeah.
And then you go.
Exhaustion level 1. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So at exhaustion level 1, you have disadvantage on ability checks. Okay.
I can't see conditions.
Just underneath hit points.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Oh.
Ludicrous is incapacitated. Ludicrous has no active condition. Ludicrous is exhausted. Lord Benton is exhausted. Oh, that's coming up. That's cool. It's like putting it in chat. That's great. That's very
Okay, Nix would like.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, I was tinkering with it. Yeah, I was tinkering with it.
You're like, oh,
Nix would like to go up to the skeleton and see if it can take off its armor. I want that chainmail.
armor
Oh,
falls
nice.
away easily. It's, as I said in the initial description, it's rusted. There's clanging chunks of it. It falls apart almost at your touch.
Has he got any good weapons?
In fact, you see that it has a short bow. That is what it's used. Has a quiver with only 3 arrows in it, and it has a rusty, dilapidated short sword that has fallen out of its whatever was holding it and is laying sprawled on the ground in the dust.
Can I take a short bow and the 3 quivers?
Does it have a pointer?
And
Do you regularly use short bow, Cal?
beg your pardon?
I've got a crossbow.
Yeah, I don't have any range to take any weapons at the moment.
Oh,
The
do you want the
short bow
short bow
is
and
quite
the
old,
pivot, the 3
so
pivots?
just to let you know that it's not in great nick, but it certainly is functional.
I'll
because
take
it
a
shot,
little.
Lord Benton in the arse.
I'll take a little.
You were there for that,
I'll
weren't
take
you,
a
when you
little
got
short
hit?
sword then.
No, you got hit.
Yeah, I shielded that. Yeah, I shielded that.
Oh, you did too. That's right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
I can't get Ringo to be exhausted either. I'm clicking on all the same
I'll
things.
sort Ringo.
Okay. Ludicrous, do you want the short bow, even if it's kind of crappy with the 3
Yeah,
pivot?
it's better than nothing for a ranger.
Take that. I'll take the short sword.
And does Ludicrous find the
Yes.
lantern?
You certainly do. It's again, the glass is already missing. It's shattered. There are shards of glass there, but there's certainly nothing inside the candle.
And the horse exploded, didn't he? So we can't check the saddlebags.
There are no saddlebags. There's a lot of smoke because the scorching rays literally blew the horse apart. So there are bits of smouldering, glowing bones strewn across the entire battle space here.
Okay.
Ludicrous. Get in that lantern.
Sorry, I just
Oh wow!
missed what just happened.
I don't know. Skype just had a heart attack.
It's just now zoomed in on Duncan. I haven't got video on anyone else.
It's normal to me.
Oh,
It's me.
That's just
oh.
Coolerama.
Sorry, Cal, you were saying?
Bless you.
I forgot what I was saying.
Okay.
So you're looking for saddlebags, I think. Someone was looking for saddlebags. There are no saddlebags.
Oh, Ludicrous, I have a tinderbox. We can see if we can get a little fire going in that lantern if you want.
Do I have a candle?
While we're on the road, probably not necessary for our marching order.
Okay, but we still got our lights from Benty.
All right, team.
I think so. We do,
So,
don't we, Benty?
Lord Benton, yeah. So Lord Benton is
No, but I can cast it again.
yeah. It's cantrip for him.
Because it only lasts for a minute, so I'm just like...
Well, if we just came across something here, I highly doubt we're going to get into more trouble right here.
Hey, hang on. Let me write one of those great D&D
Last
famous
words.
D&D lines.
Yeah, we wouldn't get ambushed twice.
Duncan would never do that.
No. I mean, I think, do we now have 4 hours to go? Or is it only 3 now? Because we left at 7, right? Is it midnight?
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, stop that.
All right, let's get going. Fall in. Onwards.
Marching order.
The wind begins to sweep up. The fog is being swirled around by it. You're beginning to think that there's a chill coming down the air.
God, we should stop this.
Let me just
I put on my robes.
I go invisible again.
Right.
I have a lot of clothes. I've got robes, vestments, and common clothes.
And with this,
some
you
reason.
continue now down back to the main map. Everyone is there. You're just here, and you all wish to continue with your level of exhaustion.
Yep.
Okay. So another hour. So it's now sort of 12:30. And 1:30 and you're here. You're paralleling along the lake. You now can no longer see the lake. The forest is sort of wrapping around you. The moon is now at its absolute sort of zenith and beginning its descent towards the west now.
Romantic.
Romantic. There's certainly a chill in the air.
Does anybody else need some clothes? Anyone else cold?
I'm okay.
It's chilly.
We're walking quite. We're warm. We're walking.
I've got an invisibility cloak. So
Cool. What chill?
The stillness of the night. The wind has sort of given away. It was a strange bluster that occurred just after that for about an hour, and it's now still. The fog is again creeping up from Lake Zarovich. It's now coming to 2 a.m. and it's now 2:30. The road seems to be endless.
No, keep going.
I thought that meant we were only half an hour away from the city. Or do we slow down our pace?
Oh, do we see that all the town?
No, you do not.
We keep going.
Moving forward, John.
Keep going.
Forging on, you find a lone figure. Standing in the road.
Is it a man?
It is a man.
Do we ask Irene?
Is he alive?
He's about 45, 50 feet away. This may look familiar, but the road is looking more and more familiar. It's looking the same all the time. Which is a great way for lazy DMs to not prep 7 different maps.
Ludicrous calls the party to a halt.
Yep.
Quietly.
Does he? Right.
And quietly
Lord Benton, what do you think of that?
Gestures Lady Rach to go observe the individual.
I'm gonna skirt around the party and approach the person.
In invisibleness.
Yep.
And I'll ready a weapon that I may not have.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All about helping the team.
The figure is standing there. It's clad in rusty armor and it clutches a gleaming longsword in its pale hand. It looks ready for a fight.
Jesus Christ.
As you're approaching it, it looks like a zombie. It seems to have sort of sunken eyes. It's clad in tattered chainmail that affords some protection. It seems to be in better condition than the skeleton that you've seen just before. Step forward, it calls. And it's looking past you, Lady Rach.
So it doesn't see me?
It has not seen you. Well, you don't think it's seen you.
Okay, well, I'm going
now it's calling out to the group. It says, "Step forward, friend or
I'm
foe."
going to ready my crossbow and just wait and see what the rest of the group does because I figure I've got a better shot being closer.
What about you, Cal? Nix, take the shot.
Looking at what spells
shoot it.
I've got.
I'd get something ready to kill it.
Yeah.
I'd definitely ready something. Maybe a bow.
I'm just going to move over to the side here. I'm ready to step forward.
I've got a dagger ready to throw.
Let's just kill it. Just kill it, Kelly.
Kelly.
Can I do a stealth attack?
There's something talking to you,
I just
Kelly.
get it straight now. Get the advantage on it.
Can I do a stealth attack?
Shoot it.
So
okay.
Kelly.
So Lady Rach, you certainly, did you want to do a stealth attack on it now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
At the moment, it's just standing there. Its sword's in the ground, but it's gleaming. The rest of it looks tattered, but the sword it's holding, like in the ground like that.
And it said step forward, friend.
It said step forward, friend or foe. That's all it's said so far, but no one's moved except Nix has now moved to the side.
I'm going to step forward.
It's not talking to you.
I'm going to say friend. I step forward and say friend.
Good one. You fight that voice.
And I kind of I've got my cape on and I'm kind of like waiting for his reaction.
Do you serve the master of these lands?
No, we're just really tired. We've been walking all night and we just want to sleep in a tavern on a soft bed. What's your name?
Do you serve the master of these lands?
Is that your master? Is that your master? Is the master of these lands your master?
Do you serve the master of these lands? Okay, at this particular point, Rach, I'm coming to you.
I have rolled a 20.
For what?
My stealth attack.
So for her crossbow, she has advantage given her assassinate feature, but 20 regardless, and that's also stacked with a sneak attack. So does a 20 hit?
Does a 20 hit? Of course a 20 hits.
Okay, so that's her initial damage, and then plus 9 for a sneak attack.
So 15 all up.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Stepping forward, this removes your invisibility, doesn't it?
I think when I initiate an attack, as soon as I do it, it takes invisibility off. Yeah. So now I'm no longer invisible.
Right. Okay. So, 15, 36, yep, 15 minus 15. Okay. So, Lady Rach, you've closed with it. Oh no, sorry, that was with your crossbow.
Crossbow.
Yeah. So the bolt looses as Nix is in the middle of the conversation with it, as it's saying, "Are you friend or foe?" And then someone, I think, said, "Are you?" What did someone say about the master of this land?
He said, "Are you friends of the master?"
Yes, but one of you said something in return to that.
And I said, "Are you? What is the master of the land? I don't know."
So what we'll do is we'll take a step back. Do you serve the master of this land?
No.
Who is the master of this land?
Do you serve the master of this land?
I think he's talking about old mate Strahd.
Yeah. But the question is, are you in service of Strahd?
Suddenly, a shot flies out, and a bolt flies into the creature, a crossbow bolt.
Assassination!
Yay!
It looks down, and it looks back up, and it looks over the direction of you, Lady Rach, and you're now visible.
Yeah.
It looks at you with these sunken, sullen eyes. This sort of, suddenly, too quickly for a zombie, far too quickly for a zombie. It flings its sword around and says, "Servants of Strahd shall die," and roll for initiative.
But I'm not a
Oh,
servant
we're
of
not
Strahd.
with Strahd.
Well, I tried to ask you.
Death is deaf too.
Can we scream in it? I'm not a servant of Strahd.
I don't think he's gonna really listen.
Lady Roach is a 6.
I'm going once.
Sorry, Lady Rach.
Is a 6. Initiative.
Okay, add turn and 6. Alright.
The joys running to characters.
Okay,
I had my weapon up to protect Rachel too, but that wouldn't be much use. So anyway, don't have that shield thing you have, Ben.
Okay, so the other Lord Benton, it looks like Irina is 15. Ben, have I got a roll off for you?
No, you don't. Okay, sorry, I'll click myself. Where am I?
So I've got Ludicrous, Lady Rach, Ringo, Nix, Irina. I need Lord
I didn't have
Benton.
Irina. I didn't roll Irina.
I did.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah. That's everybody? Is everybody up? Is that it?
Have you got me?
No,
got,
Fury.
No, I got,
Have you...
no, I got 8.
All right. Let the battle begin. Ludicrous, as it swings its sword up and says, "Servants of Strahd shall die," and it begins to take a step forward. What are you going to do?
First thing I do is that as my bonus action on him. But then I draw my longsword, close the distance with him.
Yep.
I cross swords with him, and I say, we are not servants of Strahd. We are his sworn enemies.
How far did you move there, my young man?
30 feet.
You reckon?
5, 10.
Wait, no, weren't you there?
I was here.
Who's at the front?
Was he?
He's
Here.
our leader. His marching order was the leading.
Right, okay. So yeah, so you can get there. You're still you're 10 feet from him. So can't quite get his sword.
I don't cross swords with him, but I have my sword out as if I'm about to parry with him.
What do you say?
I say, we are not servants of Strahd, sir. We are his sworn enemies. We will fight him to the death. All of us.
Give me a persuasion check. Meanwhile, Lord Benton, what are you doing?
I am going to. Can I do it? Do it. Oh, fuck yeah. Yep, that should be fine. Where am I? Yep, that should be fine. Where am I? There I am. Far away. I'm going to go 1 feet. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going 6. To call out to him. And I'm going to call out to him and say, "My good sir, is helping us. How we can together defeat the evil scourge of the land, Strahd. I suggest that you work with us and tell us everything you know, so that we can all defeat him."
What's your DC?
It's 15. It's 15.
15.
Lord Benton the diplomat. Lord Benton the firebrand. Lord Benton the handsome. Everything.
So,
Lord Benton the delusional.
So, Ludicrous, as you're talking and saying what you said before, Lord Benton races forward and casts some mystic. Suddenly you see the creature before you take pause and lower its sword ever so slowly.
That's how we
back
do.
to the ground, and it now moves towards Lord Benton and looks at him At this particular point, Irina sort of moves forward. So she moves forward to close the distance as well. Ringo stays where he is, and the creature speaks now. It says, "What is it that you wish? Are you servants of Strahd?"
No.
We wish to get to the Cully to take Irina there for safety.
Right now, we just want a bath and somewhere to sleep.
And like some
So-
good foot rub.
Okay,
Sea
so that's
salt,
what it says. So Fury, that's your response. Nix, what are you
Oh,
gonna do?
I was going to play as well. I said it because then I give everyone bardic inspiration. So, because everyone's within 60 feet.
All right. Okay. So you.
But I'd give it. So we wondering. People are we.
Oh, please, her microphone does not stop now.
No.
No.
It's been too much. Skype's got the auto censor in. It's like.
Skype shut down. It said, "Yo."
Oh no! And she's gone completely. Stage fright. See, critical fail for stage fright. Nix, what are you gonna do? Loose the shot. Let the shot go. Don't be fooled by this. This is a ruse. Take the shot.
I still have my bell with me, so I can toll the dead. So I just pick up where Fury left off, and I'm ringing the bell like, "It's all good. We are not with Strahd. We are your friends. We're just looking for somewhere to sleep. Stay the night."
So show me toll the dead if you're gonna do it.
No, I'm just using my bell to keep singing the song to pick up where Fury left off.
Thank you,
Oh,
sorry,
so
my
you're not
typing
casting.
died.
No. Yeah, welcome back, Fury. Yes,
My
she's back.
computer decided to say no to that music.
You can finish
so...
your song. You can finish your song.
Yeah. No. I think the computer's already made its opinions of that very clear. So
It just noped right out of there.
So the dude asked if we were with Strahd, and we're all saying, no, we are not.
So at
Or
this
singing
particular
it.
point, it stops now. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the encounter order. And it stops now, and it turns back towards you, Lord Benton, and it says, "You must. Because what did you suggest to it? Can you just run past me?
I suggest he works with us and tells us everything he knows about what the goings on is, so that we can all defeat Strahd together.
We must go and see Vladimir on guard. He is the leader of our order.
Cool.
You must come with me to Argenvostholt, and we must seek out Vladimir, and together, perhaps, you will form the prophecy and rid the land of Strahd."
We gotta go there.
It turns.
firstly, we have to get Irina to safety.
It turns.
Could we talk chat? Hey,
Love hearts for them.
No.
That's Ben casting suggestion.
I gave you bardic inspiration. You've got extra powers.
It turns and goes, "Come, follow me, for the march is long and cold."
That sounds really attractive right now, but we've got really sore feet, and we're like half an hour away from our village
Let's follow
to the
the
church. We get to have. You think we should just give up and what about poor Irina?
No,
She
she's
gets
our
killed.
friend. As long as she's with us, she's safe.
Yeah, but we can go there after it. I just think we should do a little detour.
I'm not feeling very safe so far. Tonight has not been good. I would have rather have crawled into the bush and taken some sleep. I'm exhausted, and you are all exhausted, and I am concerned. And Fury, you are down the back with your guitar. You come forward with the rest of us.
If you are who you say you are, then you'll be comfortable with us heading for a little nap at the church for an hour where Strahd can't get to us, and we'll come see you at Argenvostholt with Vladimir, and we'll fulfill the
I will
prophecy
see
then.
you at Argenvostholt.
Yes.
I shall return and tell Vladimir that the prophecy has come true. And with that, it turns and starts to just strut undead-like the distance along the
Sassaway.
road.
Wait, you said, what did you say? Argen Fargen.
Vostot.
Argenvostot.
Argenvostot.
Is that on the map?
I think we're just going to stick to task, doesn't it? Everyone? I mean, and Vladimir sounds like a vampire's name, so also.
Why you stereotype him?
Vladimir.
Sorry, I'm very.
Vladimir Horngard for your notes.
Before he runs off, can I say, what's your name, sir?
You run up to him.
Yeah, and I'm
He
like,
said his name's. Oh, yes, good one.
Goodness.
It stops because it's still under the influence of your suggestion.
damn straight.
So it's listening to you. And it stops, turns to you. You see that it is like fairly, like pretty looming. It's still got a crossbow bolt in it from Lady Rach. As it turns, it looks down and it just pulls it out, snaps it off and drops it on the ground. And says, are you coming to Argenvostholt now? It is a long and cold. You will not survive. I shall see you at Argenvostholt. I shall return now.
I hold out my map and I say, well, we can't meet you there if we don't know where it is. Can you mark it on our map?
You must find Argenvostholt. It is known to the people of this land.
This guy sucks.
Hey, he's your friend.
You've got persuasion. If that's the best you can do.
Do not dally in the night, for the life that you emanate, Sucky, the life that you emanate will draw Strahd and his minions. Take shelter. Prepare for a long and cold journey to Argenvostholt, and when you reach us, you will join with the Order of the Silver Dragon, and together we shall bring Barovia freedom from the curse that is Strahd.
Yes, I want a dragon. We should go.
This sounds very unpleasant right now.
Moving closer to the village.
Yeah, let's go straight to the village.
So he continues now to march off. Are you following him?
No.
No, we're going towards the town. This way.
Yeah, we want to get warm and cozy in that church where we like sort out our arena, and we work out what we're going to do, and then we're going to work out whether we're going to go to Varden Lost Out, but Argenvostholt.
Keep walking, team.
I mean, how far are we on the map? I mean,
so
he who does not get lost.
It's now 3 a.m.
Surely we can't be
Should be there.
It's 3 a.m.
Let's see the town.
It's 3 a.m. It's now 4 a.m. and ahead of you, you see some dim lights as you come around the corner and over the rise.
Yes.
Oh.
Is that
That's our
destination?
Yes. So exciting.
So it's about 20 minutes down to the gates.
I'm walking.
Same.
Thank God. What a long trek that was.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Let's go to the Abbey and just chill out.
Yeah, let's go straight
Straight to the Church of the St. Angels to Father Lucian.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lucian.
Church of St. Angels.
Hey, yo.
Straight.
So you guys should be, I would suggest, zoom up and go to the bottom right hand of your screen.
We're at that entrance there.
Yeah. Just wait.
Yes.
And there you are.
Great.
Woohoo!
Inside.
Is this Barovia?
Vallaki. We are in Barovia. That's the whole land, isn't it?
Oh, cool. We can get some Silver weapons.
Yeah. We've got our money. Once we get into the church, gotta get her into that church.
Who wants to talk to the guards?
Lord Benson.
Hanson.
Well, I could literally just
They
flip.
always make me.
The
I
most
walk.
Hang on, guys,
persuasive
just a
person.
What's the dog? Kiss goodnight. Oh.
Love. This is something. Yeah.
True love.
Like you've seen too much, you must all die. All right. So you want me to be diplomatic envoy? I can do that.
Alright, just give me 2 seconds, team.
Interesting. That's right. I checked the AFL score.
What?
What the what?
Or
The AFL.
Okay, in Skype. Hopefully, no. Make this happen. No. Once. Why can I not do that? What's going on with Skype? It's not working. Oh, there we go. Wait. Okay, so in the Skype chat, you should see what you see now is you see this as you now approach the gate. You see this. Is that actually gone? No, there it goes. Okay.
No.
oh great, this is a cute town. Fucking tastic.
Okay. So, as you approach the, it is still dark because it's nighttime, obviously, and as you're approaching the town, you are beginning to get a bit of a feel that things are shut. The gate is shut, and you can see that there are guards standing above the tower there. You're about 100 yards out now.
You say hi. Oh, can I say hello, guys?
That's 100 meters. So do you want to close up or you want to yell?
I was gonna yell to the
I think we should yell, and I can play as if we're wandering minstrels.
Hello, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Suddenly you see the guards. Their attention is certainly drawn to you, and you see them sort of look down, and they sort of call out now. The city gates don't open till 1 hour past dawn.
Can I walk up to him?
Well, you can walk up to the tower. He's like.
I would also like to walk up to the guards.
All of you now walk up to the guards.
Yeah.
And I spit and go. Who do you think you're talking to? Stand aside and open this gate. Or stand down and open this gate.
The gate's open for no one.
The gate's open for me. We have business in the city. Figure out how to get back to the call. There we go.
The gates
and I show my
shut.
ring, and I say, you would have the audacity to keep a noble out of the city over something as trivial as opening hours. I will see you flayed alive and fed to the wolves if you do not let us in this city.
Give me an intimidation check.
I think I should roll persuasion.
Well, I'm intimidated.
So you can see that while Ben's doing his best intimidation, you can see that the wall now that you're up close is about 15 foot high, and it seems to enclose the town. As you saw from that image, as you're reaching down, you could see down into the town in the dim moonlight as it was just fading. The chill of the air now is quite significant, and I'm going to put you all now to another exhaustion level, exhaustion level 2. It is cold, you are hungry, you haven't eaten the entire day. The last time you ate was the Serre pool when you left with the Vistani. You didn't eat wolf.
I really should have done that with.
But you had the opportunity to, but none of you did from memory.
Or we could have gone fishing in the lake. But...
Yeah, but anyway, so heavy iron chains with iron padlocks. You can see are strung across the gate, and the 2 guards up the top now are joined by another guard. You can see that one of them now, a female voice, calls out and says to you, "No one enters Vallaki in the night. Stay off the roads. Come back 1 hour past dawn and present yourselves."
Are we cool to just nap for an hour and wait for the sun to come up?
I think so.
Fine.
Are you in league with the devil?
No. If you mean Stroud, no. Yeah, his enemies. We have
No
sworn
one
enemies.
is permitted to say his name. Do not speak his name again.
Stride. Let us in.
So suddenly, one of them picks up a bow and brings it up like that, as the female continues to berate you. "You shall never speak the devil's name.
All right, no
problem. Vallaki,
no problem.
In Vallaki, it is forbidden by the burgomaster."
Good. We're all good with that.
Burgomaster's name again?
Oh.
Baron Valakovich is the burgomaster of Vallaki.
And so I say to them,
his family have ruled here, his father before him. Now the Baron is our ruler, and he has kept us safe from the devil for over 100 years.
We bring Irina, the daughter of the burgomaster that was in Vallaki, Burgomaster Baron Vargas.
You could be the
you're
burgomaster Valakovich himself, for all I care. You shall not. No one shall enter. That is his decree. That is the way.
May we rest
is
here.
The way.
May we rest here briefly.
I'm going to camp at the gate.
Let's just hang out here. Play a song.
I can play a song that will give you rest, everyone. I can give you rest.
Let's do that.
I actually give you, after a short rest, if I play music for you, you get extra benefits.
So sunlight is about 6 a.m. So it'll be 7 a.m. before you're all exhausted. Irina just wanders over to a small hut nearby and just collapses with a sigh, and she goes, "They won't let you in. Vallaki is known to be one of the safest places. This is why I'm coming here. You see, if they let you in, how do they not know you're in league with Strahd?"
Okay, well, we'll camp at the hut then.
So Ringo goes and sits down.
We all go with Irina to the hut. Nix will go, Ringo goes, we'll all go hang out with Irina for a couple hours.
Playing.
So the good thing is that the hut is seemingly designed for this very purpose. It has a low wall. It has a full wall on one side, and that, fortunately, is the wall where the breeze is coming from. So clearly it's been designed to provide some shelter. There is one half wall that leads down to the southeast, and then the other 2 sides are open. There's some straw there, there's some mud there. Clearly the mud is all around you now because it's raining, and the chill of the night is really into your bones, which is why you're all at exhaustion level 2. You are hungry, you are cold, you are exhausted. Many of you have expelled almost all your spell slots, Ben, and others of you are wounded.
Well, I'm
So,
going to
at this particular...
and take first watch.
Who's going to take first watch?
Me.
Alright.
While being invisible.
So you've got basically an hour and you've got, what's it, 4:30. So you've got an hour and a half before daybreak, and then another hour before they'll open the gates. You're all pretty well exhausted, and all of you will fall pretty much straight asleep, except for you, Rach. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
I'll stay awake. And does everyone else want to do a short rest?
Well, I can sing
It's
to
only an
you
hour.
while you're doing the short rest. Or before you do it.
So I'm going to allow you guys to do a short rest.
Or if we do a,
But
or
that
if we do a
makes no
short
impact.
rest.
That makes no impact on your exhaustion levels.
Oh, okay.
It will
Okay.
allow you to patch yourselves, and any of you take any short rest bonuses that or benefits that you can. So those of you who are sleeping, I believe are everyone except Nix and Lady Rach. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Nix, are you sleeping?
No, I'll stay up with Fury.
Oh, so Fury, you're not sleeping either.
I'm doing a brief performance. Well, I could do a brief performance and do that, but I think it's safe. I think I'm going to have a nap at the church.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the three of you are going to stay awake.
Cool.
Irina is already asleep. Ringo's already asleep. Lord Benton?
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep. Fuck that.
Ludicrous?
I'll take the opportunity to forage.
Get a snack.
Okay, you're going to be obviously clearly at exhaustion level 2. You are at disadvantage, plus you're at half speed. This is on the outskirts of a town, so there is some farmland that you perhaps might be able to find a mile or so away, but I can tell you right now it's not looking good for foraging.
No, that's the closest. No, I'm out.
Yeah, like
I'm
you're
asleep.
exhaustion level 2, guys. Like you're cold, wet, you haven't eaten for all day. You've been in 2 fights basically, 3 including the wolves actually. So things are pretty, things are pretty cold, miserable. It's raining, it's dark. There's a mist about. The moon is disappearing. It's pitch black dark. The guards aren't friendly. So it's coming up to 9, and at this particular point, I'm just going to finish off with all of you asleep except for Lady Rach and Nix. And Fury, you're awake as well.
Fury, I'm awake too.
The 3 of you are awake. Just as everyone else is asleep, a stranger comes out of the mist. He's a traveller, and he sits down and says to you, he's standing outside in the rain. It's very dark. You can just make his form out against the ambient, the very dark, the ambient light. You can only make his form out. He speaks with a soft voice. He says, "Can I join you for shelter for the gates open?"
No.
Ben, you're asleep.
I say no.
Lady Rach?
Prove yourself.
No.
We need to find out more about him.
We're exhausted.
I just
Simply
say no.
asking if I can step out of the rain.
No.
No.
I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm over it. No.
We just fought off some wolves. You know, we're just not really feeling it right now. But can you tell us about you from outside? What about the eaves? You can sit outside under the eaves.
I've been travelling from the west. I've come from Kresik.
No.
I'm just pretending like I'm not even listening to the guy. I'm just not even looking at him.
His shoulders slump, and he turns, and he sort of takes a half stagger, and takes another stagger, and then
I'm just watching.
falls into the mud with a splash, and is not moving.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure can.
Three.
16.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I kind of see. Can I see?
Is he faking it?
What his intentions are if he kind of feels dead.
Are you going to go over and poke him?
Yes, I am.
Hey, I have detect thoughts ability. Can I do that within?
Now, don't forget you're at level 2 exhaustion, so everything and anything you try is a super duper disadvantage. But sure.
Okay, I'm not going over at all.
So, can you roll another perception roll, please? Because you're at disadvantage.
Got it.
But you have gone over. That's what you said you were doing. So you go over and you sort of feel and touch the robes of his like traveling clothes. You feel a very frail figure underneath.
Like a skeleton? Like a skeleton?
No, like just someone very, very frail. They're face down though. You can sort of there's a bit of a gurgle.
Can I put him into the recovery position?
Nice.
As you roll him over.
Yeah.
Just make sure he can breathe. As Lady Rach rolls him over, you now see in a flash of lightning from the storm, you see his face. And you see the face of Ringo.
What?
You look back.
He was with us. He was sleeping.
You look back to where he was. You look back down to the figure. And you are just simply holding mud in your hand.
Ooh.
Thanks very much, guys. See you in 2 weeks.
Did he get struck by lightning?
Something dreadful happened.
I think
Something's happened.
Someone's messing with him.
I don't like it.
And I might just add, though, that Lady Rach, you see Ringo curled up next to Irina under the shelter.
Oh my god. The trap.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, guys. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Good game, Dom.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks, Doug.
Spooky.
Yeah.